Last week, we saw the fact that Jesus performed many signs and wonders, but this caused people to be angry and jealous of him. The religious leaders plotted with the Romans. How can we stop this man? Jesus had 12 very close friends called disciples. They had given up everything to follow him, learn from him, and to preach and share the good news. One of these men was called Judas. Although he looked and acted like all the other disciples on the outside, he didn't love Jesus at all and used his role in order to steal money. When the religious leaders wanted someone to betray Jesus, Judas came forward. And so it was that one night while Jesus and his friends were praying at a place called the Mount of Olives that it happened. While they were here, a great number of soldiers and leaders armed with swords came. Leading the way was Judas, who pointed out Jesus to the men. They arrested him, took him to a court where they lied about what he had said and what he had done, and they pronounced that he should die. They handed him over to the Romans to be executed. Not just any death, but the most humiliating and painful death that could happen to someone. Death on a cross, or as some versions say, hung on a tree. They took Jesus' clothes. They gave him a crown made of thorns. They spat at him. They punched him. They laughed at him. They made him carry this heavy wooden cross up a hill. They then hammered nails through his hands and feet and raised him up on a cross for all to see and waited for him to die. Why did this happen? How could this happen? The story of the Bible so far was filled with hope of a Saviour to come into the world, and here he is dying in a most horrible way. But the prophets, remember, told us that this must happen, that the Saviour would die so that others may live. When Jesus died, it went completely dark. You see, this wasn't just physical pain he felt. Jesus took upon himself all the bad things that we have done. Every lie, every argument, every theft, every fight, every time we've been selfish, every time we've ignored God and made ourselves kings. This was not just a good man dying. Somebody special was dying, somebody who shouldn't have to die. God, come down as man, who could have just lived forever. Here he was, dying not for anything he himself had done. He was perfect. He was taking the punishment that we deserve. It's important for us to know that none of this came as a surprise to Jesus. This was not a victory for the devil, or for the Romans, or for the religious leaders. Jesus always knew that he had come to die for the people that he loved. The Old Testament said that anyone who died hanging on a tree was cursed. By hanging on a tree for his people, Jesus reversed the curse that Adam brought in and made a way for us to be forgiven. When Jesus took his last breath, the curtain in the temple, which had separated the people from God for hundreds of years, was torn in two. You see, even though his death was the saddest thing that ever happened, if we put our trust in him, it is good news.